Yo. The Zoomers are cooked, man. Society, it's not looking good, bruv. So I've been consuming some Gen Z content about how bleak it is. You hear about older men dropping out of society, but the Zoomers are not even starting. They're not even trying, because why? When inflation is out of control, when you're priced out of the housing market, when you're priced out of having kids, when the dating pool is horrendous, when marriage is a failed institution, when there's no God to believe in, religion's out of the question, why even do it? Why even play this game? The boomer dream is dead. Yo, check it out. I'm gonna show you where I live. Driving by. I'm headed in to pick up a tourist from California, give him a hiking adventure tour, hike around the island. I got the dog with me. No, honey, come here. Come here, dog. Come here. How you doing? So, if you don't know me, welcome in. Much love, Trev here. I am an adventure entrepreneur living here on Oahu, island of Oahu. I do hiking adventure tours. I do marine wildlife adventure tours. I trade high-risk cryptocurrency. I YouTube. I coach. I do a lot of things. I've done a lot of things. I worked on organic farms. I was a professional Magic the Gathering player and content producer. I worked in the service industry. I've worked in marketing. I've done a lot of different things. And I'm a millennial. I'm 34 years old. And I'm going to tell you about a different way to live life that can maybe give you something different to strive for. And I mean, I have none of the things that you think you should have in society, and I have an awesome life. Super happy with my life. I'm not faking it to put on a show. I wake up in the morning at 6 a.m. laying in bed like I cannot believe this is my life. I'm so stoked. I'm single, unmarried, no kids. I'm 34. I made 6 figures 1 year in my life. Other than that, usually made 50K or less. I drive a $1,000 beater Corolla, which is hideous on the outside. I live in a area that is horrible for dating. I mean, I can drive an hour and it's good, but there's a lot of things that you think I should have to be happy, and I'm not. I don't have, and I'm super happy. And I'll also tell you that so many of my friends who have these things, I do not envy them. My friends who got married, a lot of them are already divorced. Those who have kids, yeah, it's noble to have kids. I'd like to have kids, but my friends are like, when I post to my Instagram story that I got 9 hours of sleep on my Oura Ring, and they're like, I can't sleep more than 4 hours since I had kids. I'm like, is that a sacrifice trade-off that I want to make in my life? Not right now, right? So let's reorient ourselves to a different possibility. Okay, so the boomer dream is dead, and man, I mean, it wasn't so long ago. I remember you get a burrito for $5. Rent was $500. Well, guess what? Actually, my parents, they went to Berkeley, UC Berkeley in the 60s. What is tuition now? $40,000-$50,000 a year. It was $150 a semester. Maybe it was less. I think it was like $100 a semester. My parents worked part-time. For working part-time, they were able to pay their way through college and live, pay their rent, pay for a car, and pay their way through college working part-time. Different world, right? We live in a different world, and we can complain about it, but we can look at the positive of how things are. There's certain positives now as well. It's more of a winner-take-all society. Things were more equitable then, at least for men, where there's a good chance you're gonna work, you're gonna get a house, you're gonna have a family, you're gonna have a wife, you're gonna stay together. That said, again, does that make you happy? A video I saw earlier in the year, which really affected my perceptions, is a Japanese man who talks about how his life is so boring. My life is so boring is the name of the video. He's got a house. He's got the mortgage. He's got the wife, he's got the kids, and he hates his life. He's super depressed because he has no spontaneity. He's trapped in, he's locked in, his life is boring. So I'm here to tell you that, you don't even, I don't even think you want the 6-figure white collar job that is gonna allow you to live not rich off it, but you're somewhat comfortable in a city. The problem is that you're gonna be fucking sick. It's just so much energy to go to the gym after 8 hours sitting in a desk, and it doesn't really make up for it. You're gonna have a sickly, skinny, fat dad bod with no kids, and the women aren't really gonna find you that attractive, even though you make this money. They might want to use you for money, but then they marry you, and then they never have sex with you once the deal's done. She's in her contract year. She's working hard. She secures the bag with this insane financial contract where she takes half your shit for firing you. Now she don't want to fuck. She doesn't want intimacy because she got the bag, right? This happens. I hear way too many stories. I've seen it happen. Why is that something to be envious of? What a degenerate, sick age. And of course, the dating pool is horrendous. What do I mean by that? Well, 2/3 of women are overweight or obese. You find a woman who kind of looks attractive, but then she's clutching a vape in her hand, and it's like, Jesus. Oh, man. None of them are conservative or religious. Mostly, they've got blue-green hair. And I don't want to make this a political thing. I want to make this a health thing. These girls, they're so rebellious of, we don't need men, screw the patriarchy. Men want us to cook, we're not going to cook. Well, now you're sick because you can't even cook for yourself. You don't even know how to cook meat. You probably don't eat meat because you saw some documentaries and you think, oh, and now your hair's falling out and you need iron shots. And how did we get here? What is going on? What is going on, right? So you guys, the Zoomers, aren't even trying. It's like, why don't I just go straight to escapism? Drink the alcohol, or whatever, play video games, porn, whatever. Well, dream a little of like, okay, do drop shipping, crypto, sell a course, AI, faceless Instagram page. Most of y'all have been scammed by one of these. Or just invested time and money and nothing happens, right? So why bother? Why bother? And I would say, good point. I mean, here's some of the things that made me happy. I went to University of Washington, one of the top business schools, and all my friends went and got white collar jobs. Some of them had to because they had big debt. If you have to take debt to go to college, don't even do it, man. It's not worth it. The bachelor's degree is doing nothing. The guys who are making good money are doing like mortuary service, heating and air conditioning, janitorial service, not even real estate, but being an actual builder with your hands, doing shit like this, right? Don't take out debt. It could absolutely ruin your life because you get locked in. Now you need that comfortable job just to not fall into a massive debt hole and never get out of. But so many of my friends went and they got these, they work for Yahoo, they work for Microsoft, they work for Facebook, and they're remote, and they work for Boeing. And my buddy just came and visited me. Like, yes, he makes good money working for Boeing, but when he's remote, he bought a mouse jiggler. You know what a mouse jiggler is? It jiggles the mouse to make it look like you're on the computer because they check to see if you're active. It works, but is that good for the soul? Is that good for the soul? No, it's not good for the soul, man. So instead, what I did is I had done all kinds of things. My entire life has been a side hustle. Some of it's worked great. My 1 6-figure year was because of crypto. And I mean, there's years I made like 50 grand on the side in a short amount of time. We'll get into that, but my original Bible, it's crazy to say the word Bible, it's not religious, but I guess something to orient my life around. And I don't even like Tim Ferriss, but Tim Ferriss 4-hour work week. I'm like, I'm gonna work 4 hours a week, because why do this other thing? I can make good use of my time. I want to play basketball. I want to go surfing. I want to bike the coast. I want to travel the world. I want to live in different places. Let me work 4 hours a week. How do I do that? So something that worked for me was making content around Magic the Gathering, which is a card game, some of y'all know. And I did well in tournaments. And you might think, well, that's because you had money growing up. I mean, I was middle class growing up, but it wasn't just like unlimited financial support. Actually, it was the opposite, where I figured out early, like, I need to make money through this game. I saw how much money was sloshing around in it. So I had schemes from a young teen. And by the time I graduated college, I could make, wow, $400 a week writing one article, one video, and then I streamed every day and probably added another $500 a week. So I'm making like, I don't know, $3,000 to $4,000 a month, and I'm living at home and I'm stacking, and I'm moved out, making stopped streaming a little bit. I'm making between $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Now this is a different time, right? This was 15 years ago. Yeah, almost. No, around 10 years ago. Prices are different, but I was at $2,000 a month. I was cruising. I was like $500 on rent. I don't need a car. I'm gonna spend $1,000 on food, and then save $500. I'm not really paying taxes or health insurance. I got a lot of comments from people saying like, well, how do you afford health insurance? You need to, like, I can't just be low income because of health insurance. It's like, dude, health insurance is free when you're low income or cheap. That's been my experience in Washington, California, and Hawaii. I don't know if it's different in other states, but being a brokey, an intentional brokey, health insurance has never been a problem. It's subsidized. Maybe I'm wrong. In certain states it's not, but that's been my experience. So, I mean, there's points I made more, double my income, but I'm living here in Hawaii, and my monthly expense is like $3,000 to have a place on the beach. I mentioned the dating. I need to like drive a while to meet girls if I want to, but I can just go outside and go swimming. I could go surfing. I could go fishing. I can walk out. I just got a bow. I can go hike up the mountain across the street, kill a goat, bring it back, stew it up, have friends over for dinner. Right? Life is good. So I oriented my life around making me happy, and you could call that selfish, but I understand what happiness comes from. People are happier when they spend time outside. People are happier. You're going to be happier spending time outside. You're going to be happier getting more sunshine. You're going to be happier doing things that are enjoyable. So I take careers that sound fun to me. I want to work on a boat, be a marine vessel. On that job, I make $17 plus tips. It works out to like $22 an hour. Guess what? I was making $22 in the service industry when I was 21. That was 13 years ago. I'm not making more money, and it's more expensive, but if you think about it, if I work like 8 hours, I make almost a little less than 200, 5 days a week, 1,000, flip that by 4 weeks, you make like $4,000 a month, and I have surplus, right? Now that's not exactly how I'm living, but gotta think about experiences, right? What makes life good and what makes life fun, right? I'm happy because I have some amount of freedom, right? I'm going in to pick up this tourist and take him where I want to take him, go on the hikes I want to take, and just say, I recommend this, bro. And I'm going to make less than $200 today, but it's enough to survive. And there's things, sometimes I get groups of 2, groups of 3, groups of 5, and randomly make $1,000 here and there on a tour. I've got the cryptocurrency trading going, which works. That's been a long journey we could talk about. YouTube, make a couple $100. I got to commute in anyway sometimes for my social life, or if I want to. So, want to do the hiking tours. I need gas. I just realized. I'll worry about that in town. Okay, yeah, I'll worry about that later. Can make it a little ways. Here's the thing. You're not bound to where you live. Here's one of the nice things about 2024. is the easiest time to just up and move. People speak different languages everywhere, and if you're in the wrong place, you can always just move. And I'm not here saying you got to move to Hawaii. No, like, I don't want a bunch of y'all showing up in my backyard being like, I saw your video, I'm moving out there. That's happened, and I don't really love that. I'm happy to see people I meet through the internet, but I live in a low-key place on purpose. But and part of it is because one of the reasons I'm in Hawaii is because I'm mixed Asian. So being a minority is optional. I just want to be part of the majority. Guess what? Where I live, people assume I'm from here. A lot of people look like me. There's a lot of Asian eyes, blonde hair, natural, right? I fit in. If I was white, I may be living in the national parks in the United States in a van, and then drive down to Florida, drive down to California, right? What about a white, why we talked about the dating pool being horrendous. So one thing I've done is I've lowered my standards. And when I say lower my standards, I don't mean lower my standards for women. My standards for women are here. I've lowered my standards of how many women I'm going to date, how long those relationships are going to last. And I have my dog, Nalani. Come here. Come here, doggy. Come here. She's knocked out back there. Hey, dog. She's the most loyal thing ever. And you may say, well, your dog's only loyal because you feed it and house it, and it's a dependent. I've feed and housed women, and there's been insane drama to come along with that, and backstabbing and cheating in the end. If you want loyalty and affection, you feel lonely, make it a goal to get a dog. I get some of y'all, you don't even own your place. Oh, I need to ask my landlord. Well, make it a goal. You can get a dog or a cat. Get yourself a dog. My experience, single with a dog is better than a lot of the women I've dated. And I'll tell you what, those of you who are priced out of the housing market, I feel it. I don't own either. But something I will tell you is, I don't even think it's a good investment. Looking forward into the future, you know why? You know why I don't think it's a good investment? If millennials are not having kids, if Gen Z is not going to have kids, the boomers are dying off. We're going to have, I'm not going to say population collapse, but we're going to have population decline. They're still building more units. You have more units, less people. What's going to happen to the value of property and the cost of rent over the next 30 years, projecting out? It's going to go down. So why do I want to buy a house on a 30-year mortgage, knowing that it's going to get real world cheaper over the next 30 years, most likely? And you might say, well, the banks are going to buy it up and foreign investors are going to buy it. It doesn't matter that. What matters is supply and demand. It's going to be fewer people, more units. So it's going to become cheaper, right? So my life, instead of orienting my life around having a family, stability, having a solid, respectable career, I've just been a fucking vagrant. I've been a pirate. I've had great health, focus on my health, focus on my own peace. I've had some wonderful romantic relationships along the way. I've had a lot of adventures. I got a bag of stories for you guys, which I tell in other videos. I'm living somewhere that I love to live. I'm doing different jobs, and I know that I'm super adaptable. I can always make it. I can always fly if I need to fly. And that's what gives me security. Is not, make so much money or I have so much in the bank. I know I'm super adaptable and I can figure it out, and that gives me excitement. And one of the nice things about 2024 is, if you're a guy like me who sees his life by the balls and you're really physically fit in an obese, sick society, people treat you awesome, right? I get awesome treatment. I mean, I still get Insanity in romantic relationships, that's a given always. And I'm not calling these women crazy, it's part of the deal, you know. I've had some great girlfriends, romantic and platonic, but yeah, women approach me, men respect me, I get hired more easily, and you can do that too. Most guys, what do you guys even eat? I look at people's grocery carts and I'm like, what the fuck is in there, right? Get some good sleep, you know. For me, what makes my life great also is I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't drink caffeine. There's a big cost saver there too. Got more money, save that, save your life, you get more time, I feel better, I look better, people treat me better, right? So don't know I can put everything together in one coherent philosophy, but I can tell you I totally understand dropping out and not starting, but I think you should know that there's alternative paths that you can take that are awesome, where you're not married, you don't have kids, you don't make a ton of money, but life is fucking amazing, right? So you gotta study what actually makes people happy, and yeah, just witness consume some boomer content, yo. If you're a Gen Z, man, there's a guy, what's his name, John Griffith or John Griffin or something. Watch some of these old boomer guys coming out of 30-year marriages, divorced, and ranting about how bad it is. Yeah, that'll put things in perspective where you're not gonna be envious of the boomers of, oh, they have this house or this, their lives, they have kids. Most of us aren't even going to take care of our parents, right? You have kids, they're not going to take care of you. It's a huge sacrifice. It's a wonderful thing to do. It gives you some kind of fulfillment, but it's a huge sacrifice. And if you have kids with the wrong person, your life becomes an absolute nightmare. There's nothing to be envious of on the other side. We got to play the cards we're dealt in the society that we're in. And it's a clown world that we live in, but do what you can with what you have, so we're here. So appreciate y'all. I do one-on-one coaching. Probably none of y'all can afford it. There used to be a time where I did a lot of coaching, but people have gotten poor, and a lot of you guys have gotten scammed by various courses, especially if I'm appealing to Gen Z with this video, the Zoomers. Y'all are broke, so don't buy my services. But I do that. I do one-on-one coaching. So just leave a comment, thumbs up. Appreciate y'all. Much love. And thanks for watching. Comment down below if you can relate, or let me know what you think. Let me know what you think is wrong with society. But I think more important, we could spend a lot of time pointing out what's wrong. Let me know what you think you can do to live an awesome life, because that's where I want to point you. Society is cooked, but there's little niche corners where you can live an awesome life. All right? Appreciate y'all much. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.